my goodness! And a very good afternoon to you. I am Griffin Epstein, joining you from the Annalee High Softball Diamond for the SCL Tournament Championship game. It's the Sonoma Valley Dragons taking on your Petaluma Trojans here. The winner taking home the SCL trophy. Bottom of the first, we have just missed the top of the first inning. Mandy O'Keefe allowed a base hit and an error, but got out of the trouble with no harm. Rachel Bless has just led off the bottom of the first with a triple down the right field line. And now 1-2 here on Mandy O'Keefe, the Trojan ace, in the center circle today, but also can do it with the bat as well. Trying to bring Bless home, who's at third. This ball is popped up right near me and into the tennis courts. Trojans coming off an 11-1 victory over Piner on Tuesday in the semifinals, while it was a shocker yesterday here on this diamond as the 2 seed, Annalee, heavily favored to place the Trojans, and they would have played in the rubber third match of the season as they've split the series as O'Keefe fouls it off. But surprisingly, it was the Dragons all over the Tigers. Not close from the outset as the Dragons mercy ruled them. 14-4 the final. The Dragons scored every single inning. So the Trojans have already won up the Tigers on that. That one misses outside. So this is a full 3-2 count here to O'Keefe. Bless at third, no score. Trojans already won the SCL regular season title, clinching a couple weeks ago. It's Annalee. What a catch at first. I don't know if you saw it, but a laser caught by the first baseman for the Dragons. So after O'Keefe lines out, here is India Smith for the Trojans. We are at a tight camera angle here today, so apologize for any issues, but no fence in the way. We've gotten a little creative down the first base line here, the Annalee High School Diamond. Beautiful unlofted into the Annalee High School campus. 2-1 as that one misses low. In the final time, the SCL Championship will likely ever be played with league realignment next year. The Trojans and the Dragons will both be in the Vine Valley League next year. That one misses high. 3-1. India Smith, the junior, trying to be patient. The Trojans have been electric offensively this year, including in 2 victories over the Dragons. That one is in there for a strike. But last time out, a little bit more challenged. A 5-1 victory against the Dragon pitcher, which is Kennedy Midgley. The sophomore ace shut down the Trojans for much of the game. She makes a great defensive play there. Throws to first. 2 down. How about 2 fantastic defensive plays by the Dragons? First, it was Raquel Hernandez at first base with the line drive catch. And then Midgley showing off the glove herself with the leaping stop of a high bouncing grounder and the throw to first. They've done a good job looking Blessed back to third. And now 2 down, and possibly a leadoff triple could result in no runs. That would be a huge victory for the Dragons and Midgley. That one misses a low. The Trojans' number 4 batter, Chandler Mevis. What a season the senior captain for the Trojans has had. She's batting .508 on the year. And also a fantastic fielder. That one misses high, 1-1. Has headed to West Georgia next year on a softball scholarship, D2 school. So this softball's her life. She'll continue to play it as she fouls out straight back. She's such an outstanding softball player, and she'll be dearly missed. What she's helped build here, SCL Championship, a big vindication of her success, looking to take home the tournament title as well. That'd mean a lot. And then a deep run into NCS, something the Trojans hope as well. This one is popped up, shortstop under it, Catch is made, and the inning is over. A leadoff triple by Bless, but the Dragons get out of it with no damage done. We're through one here. No score. So, correction, it was 14-2 yesterday. Hi, Kylie. 14-2 yesterday as the Trojans warm up in front of me over the Dragons defeating Annalee. They did score every inning, including 4 in the first, 3 in the second, and they really dominated the Tigers. Mercy ruled them in 5 innings. 11 hits for the Dragons, only 6 for Annalee. Annalee did help contribute with 3 errors yesterday. But a surprise, the Dragons and the Tigers did split the season series, and the Dragons able to get a victory, and they already proved, getting out of some trouble there in the first inning, that they have the potential to really stifle the Trojans here today. So Mandy O'Keefe back to the center circle. What a great job the sophomore ace for the Trojans has done this year. She started against Annalee in their clinching victory, dominated Rancho Cotati as well. She has a 1.63 ERA on the season. She has been very good. That first pitch misses low, as here is Hernandez for the Dragons. Senior third baseman already with a nifty catch. Helps save a run. Apologize for the umpire on the way. Swing and a miss there. Good heat from O'Keefe brings it to 1-1. Top of the second, no score here at the Annalee High School Softball Diamond in Sebastopol. The SCL Tournament Championship. Trojans won it last year, did not win SCL, but got the revenge. Some off speed there. Grounded to short, throw to first. Nice throw by Bless over to Girardelli, and there's quickly 1 down. First base umpire is also a Red Sox fan, which is good news all around. So 1 down here. O'Keefe also pitched both games against the Dragons. Mentioned the 5-1 victory back in mid-April, and then back in late March these teams faced off the first time, and it was all Trojans in that one. The Dragons had a rough start to their year. They lost the first, have to go through the math, but I think they were 0-6 about to start their year, but they have really turned things around of late, and the first time these two teams faced, it was that old Dragons team, as that one misses outside. 1-1. First time they faced, it was 13-3 on April 4th. Game played under showery skies in Sonoma. The Trojan bats brought it early, and Mercy ruled them. Get game finished in 6 innings. Misses outside from O'Keefe, 2-1. And then the victory on April 24th, which we have some coverage of. Big swing and a miss there. Nice pitch from O'Keefe, brings it to 2-2. That one was actually Sonoma took a lead in the second inning, led 1-0. The Trojans got one back in the third, and as this one is fouled off and out of play, as the Trojans got one in the third, it looked like we would just continue the defensive affair, but it was finally into the 5th inning when the Trojans broke it open. 4 home runs, including a Rachel Bless solo shot that capped it off. Chandler Mevis hit a double as well, and that was the difference in that one. The Trojans get a 5-1 victory, but the Dragons proved to be a much stiffer chest that time around, so it's not a surprise. This one is popped up. King at second will make the catch, as it was Annie Nellis who got under it. Quickly 2 down here with no trouble for O'Keefe, who's going to be hard to hit against for anyone. She shut down Annalee back on the clincher on May 3rd, which we cover the full game right here on our YouTube channel. Allowed 1 run over 6 innings. Was pretty dominant against some Annalee bats that can be pretty buoyant. 0-1. That one is high. This is Kayla Beals, junior outfielder for the Dragons. Dragons 13-11 overall, 10-2 in league. So that one is fouled straight back. Now only 2 league losses are to the Trojans. So they actually did beat Annalee both times. That's my bad. It's really surprised, especially when the first time is the high heat retires O'Keefe. But These are clearly the two top teams of SCL. It's been a pitcher's battle so far. Can the Trojans bats turn it around against Migley in the bottom of the second? We'll see. It's coming up next here. No score. There was a little bit of the reason for the confusion with Sonoma and Annalee. They've actually played 4 times this year. They played twice at the Napa tournament, which the Trojans also played at, and Annalee beat them both times by 1 run, 8-7 and 6-5. This was in a very slow start to the year for the Dragons. They started the year pretty disastrously. They were 2-10 to start, 2-9 to start the year. Since then, they have only lost twice, both times to the Trojans. The last time on April 24th, and since then, they have not lost since. They have 8 wins in a row, and including an SCL, Annalee 2 times in that span, but they've also beaten Ukiah 7-0, beaten Drake 24-4, and they have some competitive losses even when they were losing early. They really scheduled tough. So that's why it was a surprise, really, when Sonoma knocked off Annalee. But they have really gotten hot, especially of late, and proven themselves as a strong SCL counterpuncher to the Trojans. That one from Migley misses low. She's quickly behind 2-0 here to one of the Wyan sisters. It's Kaylee Wyan, the sophomore outfielder. Twin sister Emma Wyan, almost always batting next, and they're pretty identical looking. Found straight back. Blonde hair, tall, athletic players. Both played as freshmen last year on the team. Kaylee Wyan batting .410 on the year, including 2 home runs and 20 RBIs batted in. Runs batted in. The 2-1 for Migley misses low, and even though she was able to get out of last inning, she did have a couple issues with her control and missing and falling behind in counts a lot. So that's something you can't afford against the talented Trojan bats that are bound to wake up or give them free passes, and she just does to Wyand, who walks. So the leadoff runner on it will not be Wyand after Wyand this time for the Trojans, as this is Grace Girardelli for the Trojans, the senior first baseman and another of the captains on the team, batting .435 on the year, 18 runs batted in. Misses low, Wyand threatening to go at first. She's got some speed. Trojans with 24 stolen bases on the year. They have been pretty prolific on the base paths. Really smart. They play the fundamentals right. Girardelli is swinging the miss there. Sorry if you couldn't see it. The first base coach for the Trojans getting right in the way of the camera path. This one is chipped. Throw to first in time, but the job is done to Wyand. It was an odd-looking bunt, but it did the job effectively. Wyand moves to second, 1 out. Girardelli does her job, and that's another facet of the Trojans game that they've really done well on this year. Sacrifice bunts. That's their 18th sacrifice bunt of the year. They did a fair amount last year with 16, but they have improved that even more. Speaking of stolen bases, they had 16 stolen bases last year, 24 this year. So another element of improvement for the Trojans. First pitch strike in there to Emma Wyand. Batting .341 on the year, including 14 runs. Wyand sisters also on the varsity volleyball team this year. Multi-athletic, but softball is their main sport. Swing and a miss there. Oh and 2. 1 out, runner on second. Migley. Off speed, misses low. Migley, plenty of athletic heritage in her family. She's also one of the stars on a good girls basketball team for the Dragons, but her father, Bob Bankley, pretty legendary at Sonoma, the longtime head coach of the football team, and he's done a lot there. I think he was once an athlete himself. Not really an expert in Dragon sports lore, but from my brief knowledge. 2-2. Misses high. So worked it to a full count, and Migley cannot afford to give up another free pass here to a Hawaiian twin. Maddie King on deck, and this one fouled back. They're certainly making Migley work. Overall, Dragons are 13-11. Projected right now to be a 7 seed in NCS Division III, but the way they've been playing, they could certainly knock off some teams. They are hot, but Migley has walked another. She swings at the dirt in frustration, and a great job by Wyand being patient there as she forces a walk. Here is Maddie King, the senior second baseman, batting .512 on the year, including a .595 on-base percentage. Remarkable statistics that you're reaching base about 6 out of 10 times. A little bit ridiculous. You can even possibly reach that level. But that is what many of the Trojan batters have been able to do. That one misses low. Two and runners on first and second. Migley under pressure again, got out of the blessed leadoff triple in the first. That went in there for a strike, 2-1. That one is fouled off down the first base line. So 2-2. Trojans 19-5 overall, on SCL 11-1. Their only loss was an early season one to Annalee. Mentioned they got the revenge and clinched the SCL title. Beat Sonoma both times, not really challenged by anyone else. It's a unfortunately rather weak SCL this year as Migley misses low. We have another full count. And a lot of mercy rules against Healdsburg, Piner, LC, Elmo. This one is popped up. Oh, this could be two. Oh, it's dropped by Hernandez. It's going to be a foul ball. Wow. Hernandez was trying to get the double play. She had her foot on the back potentially as she caught it. I'm not sure Wyan was going to get back in time. Could have ended the inning right there, but instead, it fell right out of her glove. She was apparently standing in foul territory. That was awfully close. And instead, it misses outside. King will walk, and the bases are loaded for the bottom of the order. It's Brooke Simons. Conversation for the Dragons at the center circle as the manager for the Dragons, Keegley Ray, will talk with Migley and the rest of the Dragon infield. The Trojans have the Wyan twins at second and third, and King at first. All have reached on walks, as Migley just has not had good control. Her stuff otherwise has been good, but just hasn't been able to find the strike zone too much. She might be a little afraid of giving 2 good pitches to hit. The Trojans have really been hitting balls out of the park this year. 17 home runs on the season. A huge uptick from just 4 home runs last year. Bless has been a big part of that with a team leading 6 home runs on the year. So it's been a big part of the freshman breakout sensation who's on deck here. But it's a senior, more experienced vet, Brooke Simons, who takes the first pitch low. Right now, Migley just needs to get a couple pitches in there in the strike zone, get some confidence, get ahead in the count. She can have more creativity with what she wants to do with her pitches. The 1-0 is fouled right towards me. So, actually with the first pitch a strike, so 0-2 here to Migley. A chance to get ahead. Trojans stranded a runner in the first. Don't certainly want to do it again. Fouled straight back. Good battle by Simons third baseman, an exceptional defender, doesn't do it as much with the bat, batting .394 on the year. She's in a big spot here. So on the varsity tennis team, continuing to battle, slices another one out of play. One of 4 seniors on an experienced Trojan bunch, a good combination of experience and some spectacular young players. Blast highlighting that, but O'Keefe, only a sophomore. The Wyan twins, both sophomores. 1 and 2 now. That misses low, 2 and 2. Trojans have been pretty hot as well. His teams are 2 confident teams going in, only have 1 loss since more than a month. This is sliced down the line. I'm sorry, it was faster than my camera. No chance to tag, though. What a play by the Sonoma defense. It was hit down the first base line by Simons, and a great catch was made by the right fielder for the Dragons, who's right on the edge of that fence there. Great fielder for the Dragons, Jaya Garcia, the senior, made the catch and was in that right position, and she was ready to throw home, and there was no chance for Wyan. That throw was on. She was going to be out, most certainly. And probably smart to leave it to Bless, who's been so hot of late. Try to give her a chance to get the Trojans on the board. 2 down, bases loaded. The pitch from Migley. Swing and a miss. Bless was thinking big things there. A grand slam certainly could be a highlight of the year. Bless betting. That one misses. Bless betting .492 on the year, but it's especially been the last month that she's really exploded with the bat. She's been very productive from the pitcher's mound or the center circle. So that one misses low, is the second pitcher behind O'Keefe, which has certainly been the weakness of the Trojan repertoire, their lack of pitching depth, but Bless has been huge to that. But they put her in the leadoff spot for today because manager Coach Janstone knows how well she's hitting. This one is crushed way back out of here. Rachel Bless, a grand slam. And the Trojans continue to pray at the house of Bless. 4-0. The Trojans are on the board as Bless demolishes a fastball that caught too much out of the plate all the way out to deep center, well at 200 feet. And that turned this place upside down. You knew it could happen. She had a swing earlier where she was trying to. Midgley made a mistake, and Bless was waiting on it, and she demolished that as soon as that ball was hit. You knew that was out. It nearly hit off the scoreboard. A lot of home runs in softball can be line drives. That one was a no-doubter, and Midgley looks rattled too now. That misses low, 2-0. Oh, it would have been crushing if the Trojans could have loaded the bases and not scored. Instead, they put a big 4 spot up, and they have a big inning, so vital in what is looking like it's shaping up to be a pitcher's duel between 2 fantastic sophomores in Migley and O'Keefe. 2-1. Ground ball to short. Inning over, but Rachel Bless with a grand slam to give the Trojans a 4-0 lead here in the SCL Tournament Championship. We've reached the end of 2. It's Petaluma 4, Sonoma nothing. Garcia leads it off for the Dragons here. Senior right fielder trying to get things going. They're going to need to put some runs up on the board after the Bless grand slam shows bunt. but couldn't get full contact on it and fouled it off. O'Keefe has to have even greater confidence to the grand slam. This one is up the middle, a base hit. So a leadoff base hit is what the Dragons needed after what had to be a crushing grand slam hit by Bless. Garcia comes through, and now Kennedy Migley, the pitcher, trying to do good for her own cause. No out, one on. And she hits the first one into right field for a base hit. Exactly the start you want if you're a Dragon fan here. You need a response. It's almost like hold and serve. You score some runs. Now can you hold it in the bottom of the inning? Well, in this case, the top of the inning, but the Dragons have answered back-to-back base hits to start off here. Dragon dugout getting loud. That one misses high to Kalia Hensick, sophomore second baseman. Pitch from O'Keefe is in there for a strike. Hensick showed bunt, pulled it back. You need 4 runs, but you can't get them all at once. They have plenty of time to the Dragons, so to completely vouch against a bunt. Off speed is in there. What a pitch from from O'Keefe, and it gets the Trojan supporters going nuts. That one is fouled off out of play. Pitch before had to be good 40 miles per hour, but it was nasty stuff on it. It looked like it was going to be a good 5 feet high. Dropped in there on the inside corner, and it had Hensick frozen. 1-2. That just misses 2-2. Trojan supporters thought that was it. O'Keefe has worked herself into a little bit of troubles. That one is fouled off. That's trouble in the first inning. 2 got on early, but able to work around it. And it was a much easier second inning, but Sonoma knew they needed a response here. Top of the third. It's a confident team, the Dragons, right now. They've been so dominant the last couple months. They're not going to get down, but same with the Trojans. That one misses low, so 3-2 now. Don't want to walk here. It's fouled off. A lot of payoff pitches last inning for Midgley, which cost her is, besides the Bless home run, all 3 other runs were walks. Trojan is only with a couple hits on the day, but 4 runs up on the scoreboard. 3-2, and still no outs. And that one was high, but it was fouled off by Hensick. Girelli at first for the Trojans. King at second. It's Bless at short. And Simons at third. In the outfield, it's Nevis at center. And that misses low. Trying to go with the off-speed changeup in the dirt. But Hensick wasn't biting that time. And the bases are loaded. Kalia Hensick, good job being patient, and now Kurt Janstow will make his way out to talk to Matty O'Keefe with some trouble for the Trojans, and could the Dragons answer with maybe a grand slam of their own, or at least an answer to the crooked number on the scoreboard. It's Wyand in left for the Trojans, and Smith in right to close out the lineup. And then the other Wyand sister at catcher, so that's Emma in right. Is the off speed again. That time it just missed. It's actually, I'm sorry, Kaylee in left, and Emma is in right. So 1-0, nowhere to put them. Still no outs in the inning. Back-to-back base hits the start, and then Hensick with a great battle. 9 pitch at bat. This one is hit down the third base line and foul. just missed that one a little bit late. Ali Alcaiga, sophomore catcher. There's not too many seniors on this Dragon team. Pretty similar. A few seniors that provide a big impact. Some of the Trojans, but some really talented upperclassmen. This one is lifted back. Mevis at the track. She makes the catch. The throw home will not be in time. A run is scored. And it is 4-1. That one was about 2 feet from the grand slam answer. But Mevis, the excellent fielder, just about a step from the wall, made the catch. That was deep enough that there was no chance for catching the runner on the sacrifice tag. So the Dragons are on the board. The other runners do not advance. It's still first and second. First ball hit down the line and foul. This is Ali Alcaya, so the twin sister and sophomore twin sisters, just like the Trojans, are also on the Dragons. Right in the heart of the order, too. That miss is low. 1-1. It's excellent Trojan defense around. Not too many holes to hit them in. You gotta place your balls well. Oh, and she hits Alcaya. That one just went inside. O'Keefe puts her hands to her head. She typically has great control. Wouldn't expect that, but she has loaded the bases right back up. Trojan pitchers, which is pretty much just Bless and O'Keefe, have been very good with avoiding walks. Only 39 walks on the year compared to 81 strikeouts. That's a fantastic walk to strikeout ratio. His first pitch is popped up, going back rather awkwardly and making the catch as Bless. That one was not a nice position and right about on the lip of the grass, but Bless is a smooth defender, and the Trojans had no trouble with it. Trojans had an 800 fielding average on the year. It's a little bit down from last year, but still mostly excellent fielders around. 2 down here, chance for O'Keefe to get out of the inning without too much damage done. Something that Dragons were not able to do at the bottom half of the second. First pitch is low, 1-0. Hernandez fouls that one back, 1-1. Trojans, besides their loss to the first-ranked team in NCS, Division II Concord, they have not lost since April 10th. So they are a confident bunch. This is down the line. It bounced foul. Girardelli would have liked to stop that before it had gone past the line, but it was too late by the time she got over to the foul line. So 1-2, and a chance for O'Keefe to get out of this one. Great to have that run insurance. Makes you feel a little nervous, but just felt the nerves a little bit here on this half inning. It's a big moment for the sophomore, her first year on the varsity team, and she's pitched in some big moments and not been afraid. Of course, the Annalee clincher, mentioned Rancho Catani, the historic Friday Night Lights game, as that one misses high. Something the Trojans have really been dominated in years, but it was O'Keefe this time that completely shut down Rancho Catani, and the Trojans jumped on the Cougars early for 7 early runs and never looked back. This one to third. Great play by Black. She has been everywhere on the diamond. Great fielding, the key grand slam. And even though it was a shaky inning, only 1 run is given up. That has to be a victory for the purple and white. We'll head to the bottom of the third. It's the Trojans 4, Sonoma 1. So it will be interesting to see how Midgley responds after she gets a run on the board, as that one misses low. In the top half of this inning, to get a little bit support, show that the Dragons will bring their bats today and possibly get back in this game for her. She can be up for the task. She's really pitched pretty well, just not for having good control. And it really cost her last inning. The most talented hitter maybe on the Trojan lineup, and Rachel Bless, was able to get to her, but all 3 runners before were just on walks. This one by Smith is crushed into the gap. It bounces off the wall. Smith headed to second. She's in there in time. Well, once again, ahead in the count. Midgley putting one over the middle of the plate, and the Trojans were ready and waiting on it. They were not being patient. And Smith crushed it to the right center gap. All the way to the wall, hustles around for a double. And the leadoff double, and the Trojans quickly threatening for more. Bunt laid down by Mevis. And a good throw at third to get Mevis, but she's clapping her hands. She's done her job, just like last inning with Girardelli advancing Wyand. She has moved Smith over to third, and a chance for a key insurance run here for the Trojans. It's really the team playing aspect of it. Mevis can be a flashy player, huge home run. She has made some spectacular plays in the outfield, none more than it got Sonoma last year at Sonoma, diving over the wall to bring back a home run in a 1-0 victory for the Trojans. That put them in first place for a while in SCL, and that count was featured on SportsCenter Top 10. It was the top softball play of the year by Max Preps. So she can be on it, but just a simple bunt laid down there, moves Smith forward, and now with Girardelli up here, Wyand up here, a chance for the Trojans just to tack on another run. That's what it's all about. Fouled back, 1-2. Midgley needs to be more just creative with her pitches. She's gotten ahead of a count here, so she should be able to do a little bit more. She's certainly got the skills. This is popped sky high. Hernandez making the catch to get around Wyand. That was not what Wyand was hoping for. The sac fly potentially could bring Smith home for a run, but unable to do that. And here is Girardelli. Sacrifice bunt last inning.
Hey, now 2-1 base hit. Base hit scores, kid.
And she swings at the first pitch into center, racing over and unable to make the catch. Girardelli will hold it first, but she has an RBI base hit. She has batted in Smith, and it is 5-1. First pitch swing by Girardelli, driving it to the wall, a line drive. And you wonder if Lee, the center fielder for the Dragons, could have tried laying out. She was awfully close, but unable to get to that one. So the Trojans add on that insurance run. It's 5-1. Get the one back from top half of this inning. Here is Kaylee Wyand. Emma Wyand, excuse me. Giving me a lot of trouble today. 2-0 to Emma. She flied out her first at bat. Misses high. It's a beautiful evening here in Sebastopol. About 60 degrees, not a cloud in the sky here in mid-May. Couldn't be more perfect for a championship softball affair. That misses high, and Wyand has walked, and it might be a confidence issue for Midgley. It just seemed like when she gets a couple walks, she gets into her head, and it sort of snowballs and gets worse for her. And when she was on against the Trojans, when they faced in Petaluma last month, she really shut them down for a lot of innings, but then allowed a big number in the fifth when just had some couple walks, things got away from her. She's still only a sophomore, so not as developed. Ground ball to short. It gets by. Girardelli heading home. She's got to sprint the throw. She is out. Now, Girardelli was set, but I don't know if she was on her horse as much as you would hope. She's not the fastest player, and a good throw in left field to get her. So that is the end of 3. The Trojans lead 5-1 over the Dragons. O'Keefe back to the mound for work so far, 3 innings and only 1 run allowed. Last inning, though, struggled with her control a little bit, or certainly her worst inning of pitching, so she'll look to turn it around here with the Trojans leading 5-1. That was the score of their victory last month against the Dragons, and their regular season sweep win SCL for the first time outright in 3 years. They tied with Annalee 2 years ago. Annalee won the title, actually split the title with Sonoma last year, but the Trojans got revenge on the Tigers for a loss to them that cost them the title last year by beating them here in the SCL Tournament Championship game. That game is on our YouTube channel, and now the Trojans looking to go back-to-back to finish off the Sonoma County League, likely forever, a league that they've dominated for a large part of this century under Kurt Janstow. That one sails way high, 2-2. Nobody out, nobody on. For Jaya Garcia. 1 for 2 today. Garcia drives this one way back. Mavis at the wall makes the catch. Chandler Mavis showing off her fielding skills, leaning up against the wall, making it. 2 balls hit by the Dragons have just missed being home runs. And Mavis has been there both times. She's been a big difference in this one. The Dragons fielding in the outfield has not been as good. And her huge reprieve, and it has to be such a huge confidence builder for O'Keefe that she has the great defense behind her, especially in the outfield, especially with Mavis in center. Quickly 0-2 here to Okaya. That misses. 1-2. Double play is another thing that the Trojans have improved on. It was remarkable in that SCL clinching victory against Annalee. They had 4 double plays. They really were turning them in the infield, and was Blas Pariani was playing second that game. They were a big part of that. Girardelli made a couple spectacular stretches at first to hold on to it. 2 different ones, and a couple were big plays that had to be backbreakers for Annalee. Were threatening to score some runs, get back into it after the Trojans put a 5 spot up early. This one grounded to second. Bless has to throw very quickly. Did she? Yes, she did! Oh, my goodness! Bless with a great throw. It got past Simons at third. Bless had to rush it. And then Girardelli with a spectacular catch and stretch. We just talked about her stretches against Annalee that were backbreakers. That might not be a backbreaker for the Dragons, but it was certainly spectacular for the fans here in Sebastopol. Off speed, just missed. That changeup, though, is really improving for O'Keefe. It's starting to get a lot better. So 2 out, nobody on here for the great defensive play. The Trojan defense has been on today. That one is fouled off, 1-1. 6-2, that victory over Annalee. They threatened a couple times. Trojans put 5 of those runs up in the first inning. Annalee slowly was chipping away, but they could never put a big one up, and part to the Trojan defense, both the infield and the outfield. That one misses, 2-1. This one is popped up. Bless over. Cannot make the catch. Off the end of her glove, a tough play. And Grass sort of heads downwards there. He also got the fence and the ivy to deal with, so it was not going to be easy to make that one. But 2-2 here, and a chance for a 1-2-3 inning. Would be the first one of either half inning for either side. This one is slugged down the line, and sorry for the poor camera work, it's a foul. Tournament championship play continues later this evening. The baseball team will be taking on Annalee in Sonoma. Yes, funny how that works out. for the SCL Tournament Championship. I'll be heading over there as soon as this one's done. Not sure if I'll be able to make the beginning of it, as I can fortunately not fly there. And this one's probably going to finish around 7. That one's going to start at 7. Diving play by Bless. Unable to make it at short. She's laying it all out there, that's for certain. A tough play up the middle. Bless unable to hold on to it. Remarkable, she even got a glove on that one. So an infield base hit for Jaya Garcia. And now here is Kennedy Migley, the pitcher for the Dragons, trying to get something more going. Migley swings at the first pitch right to Bless, who didn't have to move a muscle. And that's the end of the top of the 4th. A good inning for O'Keefe. Trojans leading 5-1 here. They're just 9 outs away from an SCL Tournament Championship. Simons leads the bottom of the 4th off for the Trojans. Trojans overall is the team hitting .439. Obviously remarkably high statistic, but .519 on base percentage. So they reach base over half their plate appearances over the course of the year. Migley's 1-0, misses high also, 2-0. And yes, those numbers are a little bit skewed because of the weak half of SCL the Trojans have beat up on and put 20 runs up, 15 runs up against Piner, Healdsburg, and so on. They beat El Molino 20-1, and they beat Healdsburg 24-0. So everyone's getting hits there, but still half of their games, probably a little more than half, have been against quality opponents that they haven't had to beat up against. So impressive. And a team like Piner that they beat in the semifinals is not a bad team, as Simons walks on 4 pitches. Piner, the 11th seed in NCS Division 3, that's, yes, a lot weaker than NCS Division 2, where the Trojans are in, but is still a team that could make some noise in NCS. But the Trojans have mercy ruled them every time they played them, not really been that competitive. And unfortunately, Healdsburg, LC, and Elmo really not teams with great talent experience. Been able to even interest the Trojans at all, and that is certainly one of the reasons why they will be moving leagues to the Vine Valley next year. Will be a lot more competitive. Here's Wyan with 1 on and nobody out. She fouls it off out of play, 1-1. I'm sorry, this is Bless, not Wyan. How could I mix that up? Rachel Bless, of course, with the grand slam in the bottom of the 2nd. That has 4 of the Trojans' 5 runs right now. She also has a triple today, along with a home run, so she's a double and a single away from hitting for the cycle. And she's already gotten the 2 hardest ones out of the way. 2-1. She slogs this one into left. Oh, good catch is made on her tippy toes. This gets by Hernandez, sloppy, and Simons goes to 2nd. Not good fielding there by the Dragons. Just the little things there, throwing the ball back in, not paying attention. Hernandez, not sure really what happened there, and Simons was watching it and able to advance to 2nd on the fly out now with 1 down, and with O'Keefe good to score with a base hit potentially. O'Keefe pops it up, and Hernandez with a little basket catch. It bounces off her glove, and she caught it with her bare hand. That was an athletic play by the first baseman, who already made a nice long drive catch in the 2nd inning, or the 1st inning, to stifle. Looked like it was going to be some Trojan runs after the Blast leadoff triple. So now 2 down here, and Migley has to be happy with some quick outs. She has had a long day at work already. And there's India Smith, who had a double last time up against Migley. That one misses high, 2-0. This game important not just because the SCL Tournament Trophy is on the line, but also that for the Trojans, they are sitting in a very perilous position for NCS in terms of getting a home game, in terms of not playing Concord again in the potential quarterfinals. Currently projected by Max Preps to be an 8 seed. The top 8 get home games, so they're right on that edge. But then even if they were an 8 seed and got to be at home and won that first game, they'd have to go to Concord the next game, the number 1 team in NCS for the quarterfinals. And this team is talented enough that they can make a run in NCS, but Concord would not be the team they would want to face right away. Team they already played. They played competitively. They lost 11-7, but that would be a tough one for the Trojans. A victory here, and NCS often reluctant to give the respect to the Northgate teams, but maybe they could squeak out a 6. Even a 7 would be better. A loss here today, and the Trojans could fall maybe even to a 9 and not get a home game, and they at least want one home NCS game. As Smith has walked, as Midgley is just throwing ball after ball right now. She's struggling to find the strike zone, even with the quick out. She's behind 2-0, quickly to Wyand. Finally gets one in there. She only needs one more out to get out of the 4th inning without any damage done, and the Dragons hanging around. They're currently projected as the 7th seed in NCS Division 3. It is a weaker division, and the way the Dragons have been playing, they could certainly make a run in NCS. Trojans have not won an NCS game with this class of players, so including the seniors, have not won an NCS game. A little bit remarkable considering their success. Between 2013 and 2015, they didn't even lose a game in Sonoma County League. That's how dominant they were with Kurt Janstow, but have not won an NCS game since 2014. They've had plenty of success in NCS, just not recently. This one is hit very high, but the left fielder under it to make the catch. Wine gave it a ride, but just got under it a little bit too much. So we've reached the end of 4 here. Petaluma 5, Sonoma 1. Top of the 5th, O'Keefe back to work. See if she could make a complete game. Certainly a possibility. Swing and a miss there by the leadoff batter for the Dragons, Hensick. Popped up, and the ump was blocking it, but the catch is made by Bless. The good fielding continues. That was a routine play for the freshman shortstop. Trojan pitching overall, it's mostly been O'Keefe and Bless, as we mentioned, and it looked like coming into the year that it could be a major issue for them, as Jaden Chris was expected to be the ace of the staff, but Chris actually, ironically, against Sonoma Valley in the SCL Tournament Championship of the girls basketball, re-injured her leg, which she pretty badly injured in volleyball a year before. That caused her to be out for the prior basketball season, as the catch is made in center by Mevis, who wasn't an easy one, came and run and again make it look routine, calling off Smith, 2 down. And Chris re-injured that in about the first seconds of the game. Trojans went on to win, but Chris, out for the year in sports, hopes to be back next year, likely will be for volleyball. She was in crutches for about a month after. She's still in a boot, but it's slightly getting to be a smaller and smaller boot. And she's hoping to be back next year on the softball team. Hopefully that injury doesn't reoccur, but it has been an issue for her. She's a very talented athlete. And then the other pitcher for the Trojans, both sophomores last year, now juniors, Ava Chabot, not playing softball this year. So Trojans had to look elsewhere. Emily O'Keefe was another pitcher. She graduated last year, and Mandy O'Keefe, the younger sister, stepped right in. And O'Keefe pitching a lot of big games, including that Friday Night Lights game against Rancho last year. And she stepped in. O'Keefe behind 3-0 here with 2 outs and nobody on. And nice off speed to get back in the strike zone. She's facing Abby Alcaiga, sophomore third baseman. And this one is fouled off and into the tennis courts, which have to be frequented by softball games. I'd be concerned if they had played a baseball game or a softball game and a tennis match at the same time. The danger for the tennis players. So the payoff pitch here. Off speed, and it is crushed. Going back and left, and making the catch is Wyatt. She saw Mavis do it. And Emma Wyatt said she can do it too. The third time that Sonoma has looked like they were going to hit one that was going to go out. And all three times, the Trojan outfield has been waiting with some great catches. Again, that one was maybe the closest, leaning up against the wall and almost reaching over. It was nearly going out. But Wyatt was there to make the catch. That's been the difference in a couple runs. The fielding has been huge today. Bottom of the fifth we go. 5-1, the Trojans lead. Kaylee Wyatt leads off the bottom of the fifth for the Trojans. 6 more outs needed for back-to-back SCL tournament titles. Final softball game, likely ever to be played in SCL. Sonoma will move with the Trojans to VVL, along with join Casa Grande, American Canyon, Justin Sienna, Vintage, and Napa in a brand new league. Will involve a lot of traveling, but no more traveling up to Sebastopol, as Annalee will move into the North Bay League next year. It will be a super league, but still called the North Bay League, but it's going to be split into 2 divisions for every sport based on the competition. So, for example, the Annalee softball team, as this one is grounded to short, well fielded and throw to first in time. That was a fantastic play at shortstop by one of the Dragons' more talented players, Kalia Hensick, the sophomore shortstop. Here's Girardelli with 1 out, nobody on. So Annalee, for example, the Annalee softball team will likely be in the top division, namely Oak Division. Girardelli fouls it back. Will be in the top division for softball, but their boys tennis team, for example, not as strong, would be in the Redwood Division, which is the lower division, and so on for every sport. Trojans won't have to deal with the complicated math or decisions or what teams are in your league. The VVL, just 8 teams, one size fits all. 0-2, Girardelli in the hole here. It means no more travel up to Annalee, long been the nemesis of the Trojans, and sort of day to say goodbye, even though they're not facing Annalee. One final time here. The Annalee softball diamond, one final time traveling up to Annalee for so many Trojan supporters. I've made the trip a lot over the years. Girardelli fouls it back. It's a cute diamond, too. There's a reason they've hosted the SCL tournament here every year in recent memory. Wedged in with the trees. Fantastic conditions. They treat it well. The duckouts are nice. Girardelli went way down to go and get that. I'd say protect the zone, but didn't need to that time. 0-2. It's been an intense one throughout as we reach the latter stages and the sun gets lower in the sky on this Thursday evening. Girardelli, a line drive at the middle, catches made in center. Ken went down a little bit low to get it, and it caused the ball to be lifted up a little bit. Lindsay Lee makes the catch for the Dragons. Ranked 593 right now in the state, but really brought down by a lot of losses, and they've had some close losses as well, including to Montgomery and Marin Catholic. Good teams. Trojans beat Marin Catholic, their first victory of the year, and lost to Montgomery, so that is somewhat why they might have a lower NCS ranking, but talented team, and they've proved it today. It's the Rachel Bless Grand Slam right now that is the difference in this 5-1 lead. It's been a pitcher's duel mostly throughout. Migley's definitely settled in, got better as the game's gone on. Her control's gotten a little bit better. She's gotten ahead of the count more so, and that's really helped her. And one's in there for a strike. 1-2 here to Wyant. NCS seedings will be revealed on Sunday, as that one is in there. That's actually strike 2, so now 2-2. 2-2, 2 out, nobody on. Sunday, the NCS committee will convene in San Ramon, and they'll make the decision of the seedings for both baseball and softball. So that one misses low. 3-2. A full count. So that's when the Trojans will learn their fate, and then either Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, so that is the 22nd or the 23rd, will be the first round game at home if the Trojans are an 8 seed or higher, as this one is up the middle, and it is a infield base hit. Perfectly placed by Wyand, placing the ball well, and there was not much of a chance for the middle infielders for the Dragons to get to that one. It brings up Maddie King with a runner on here, and the Trojans trying to extend their lead. It's certainly not secure. We'll see if they continue to ride O'Keefe as we head into the 6th, or they go with Bless to try to close it out. King takes low. O'Keefe with 6 complete games on the year, 9 complete games overall, the other 3 by Bless. So not too many times they've done it. Certainly Bless is available, plenty of time off until their next game. But O'Keefe can start it on Tuesday. Pitched all full innings. This gets by the first baseman, and it looked like for a moment there would be a good chance for Wyatt to advance, but good backup in left field as they've thrown back by the right fielder Garcia for the Dragons. 1-1 as that one misses high.
Come on, Maddie.
So 2-1. That one missing outside. So 3-1, and back to her old tactics or mistakes as Migley. She's fallen behind on the count again. 3-1. This is fouled off out of play. Back to a full count. Well, the fans have been into this one, but the Dogs have retired. It's been a long evening for that guy. That misses low, and the walk by King. So after looked like nothing was going on, King has worked a walk after Wyand worked a walk. Or a base hit, excuse me, infield base hit. So 2-1, 2 out. Bottom of the order in Simons, and certainly for Migley, she wants to make sure to get out of this because you do not want to bring up Bless. A home run, a triple, and a hard hit ball into left.
Come on, Brooke.
A 1-0. Misses high. Can see the frustration. Poor body language by Migley. If she gets down, it just seems to get to her head. 4 seniors on the Dragons, as they're going to have a conversation here. 4 seniors on the Dragons, same as the Trojans, but a lot of sophomores and freshmen dotting the team. Nearly half of the team underclassmen. Similar to the Trojans, the 4 seniors, and Simons, Pariani, Mevis, and Girardelli, but the underclassmen and O'Keefe Bless. Haven't seen Logan Pomey yet, but talented second baseman as well. Kami Ayers, also a sophomore, and get certainly more playing time next year. Not focused on that, focused on now. It's been an exciting season for the Trojans, and a chance to take both home the league pennant, which they've already done outright for the first time in 3 years, and back-to-back league trophies. 3-0. Migley's really struggling to find the zone. This could be a time to swing if you're Simons. He's just going to put one over the middle, but that one actually just barely caught the outside corner. 3-1. That one misses. Simons walked, and the bases are loaded, and a chance here for Rachel Bless to completely blow this one open. It's been tense throughout because the Trojans haven't been able to, even with some runners on, really extend that lead. And the Dragons have just hung around. They've hit some balls far, threatened. Let their presence be known, but one more big inning here, and the Trojans could get some serious separation with the Dragons. Bless with 7 home runs on the year, including one today. That one in their first strike. Much needed for Migley. This one is hit hard. Back and left, and making the couch a loud out for Bless. She just narrowly missed. That one could have had 2 grand slams. That would have been remarkable. Look at Chandler Mevis talking to her. She is pumping her up. Mevis has been into this one throughout. She's telling Bless, oh, you could have hit that one more foot farther. She has to expect one at bat. She's having fun tutoring the young star. That is Rachel Bless. We're headed to the 6th. Trojans lead 5-1. 6-7 batters for the Dragons. So Keefe continues her work. 8-3 overall in the year, and 12 games started, 33 strikeouts, and only a 182 batting average opponents against her. Has been dominant. And she just nicked. Tracking there. I think it might have gotten her on the hand. I couldn't tell there, but she quickly ran over to first. Lindsay Lee, the senior catcher, hasn't seen a lot of action today, but she gets the lead off on the hit batter. Second batter that O'Keefe has hit today, surprisingly. So another quick threat for Sonoma. There has not been too many stress-free innings, that's for certain for O'Keefe. It's been a long game. This is a high fly ball. Smith is making the catch, and Raya got way under that one, did Hernandez. And one down. Smith, Mevis, and Wyan have all been excellent fielding in the outfield today. One down, and here is Amy Nellis, junior second baseman. Dragon dugout pounding on their dugout, labeled the Tiger's Den, but it's the Dragons' lair this evening. Trying to get a couple more runs off the plate. Only run was on a set fly after they loaded the bases in the top of the 3rd. Narrowly, though, the hitter before that narrowly missed a grand slam. Mevis leaning up against the fence to make it with the bases loaded, and then the run was scored on that. But if that had been hit, a whole different ballgame than you have now. Trojan still with some security. This one will roll a foul. I think it was actually hit off the foot. Yeah, it was, of Nellis. So that's why it never actually rolled into foul territory. 1-2. Misses high. Lee threatening at first. See if they're interested in stealing a base. Even just 1 or 2 here would be big. Help them out. Next inning, this one is hit very high. Wyand is calling off Mevis, and she makes the catch. The communication has been superb in the outfield by the Trojans. No miscommunications. There have been some ones lofted way up into the air. It hasn't been too windy of a day, so there's been too many issues. 2 down. 5-1. The Trojans lead here. And Dragons have made some contact, hit some balls far, but there just have not been too many holes. In the one inning they got that run, it was really O'Keefe lost command of the strike zone. Jordan Chiotti, the freshman, is pinch hitting here, first at bat, and she fouls it straight back. Quickly behind in the hole, 0-2. Trojans last year, 18-10 in SCL, 10-2, and they were the 12th seed in NCS and lost to Rancho Cotati in the first round. It's been a more successful year this year as O'Keefe, the backwards K on the off speed. That's nasty stuff. She's through 6 innings, only 1 hit allowed. She's been such a big difference in the Trojans' explosion this year, including an SCL title. They're 3 more outs away from lifting the SCL trophy. O'Keefe will lead off. Mickley trying to keep the Dragons within striking range for the 7th inning. Don't forget to stay tuned after the game. We're going to have interviews with the stars of the game. It's been the Rachel Bless show today for the Trojans. She's been the difference. O'Keefe, though, very good from the mound. Silencing the Dragon bats once again. Trojans beat Dragons 5-1 last month. Key victory was sort of a round-robin play with Annalee. They all had 1 loss in SCL play after the first round. The Trojans beat both Annalee and Sonoma to make sure they got the victory. Misses high, and Migley just pitches so fast here and continuously missing. Behind 3-0 now. And O'Keefe gets an easy walk. And it's been a battle of sophomore pitchers today, and O'Keefe has won it just with the better control. You've seen that's been a difference. O'Keefe's going to be pitch hit here for Pete, who's a little bit speedier, and possibly chance for another insurance run for the Trojans to make things easier. I haven't seen Bless warming up in the bullpen, so likely the Trojans will go with O'Keefe at the bottom of the inning. Kurt Janstow might have also been wanting get O'Keefe the rest before her big final inning, where the nerves will definitely be high with the trophy on the line. First pitch in there for a strike to Mevis. I'm sorry, this is Smith. Takes inside there. Smith with a double today. Overall on the year, a great year for the softball Dragons. He actually leads the team in batting average. .527 batting average, including 9 doubles, added a 10th today, a home run, 20 RBIs. Was on the team last year, likely be one of the captains next year. And one of those people, similar to me, was all about softball. It's really her life. Eats, sleeps, breathes it. That's all she talks about. She's a big fan of the Oregon softball team. Top college softball team in the country, as that one is hit up the middle. A base hit for Smith, 2 on, 1 out, and the Trojans threatening once again. It's Kenley Migley, who's been walking on a tightrope all evening long. Only one time has she fallen off, but one time might be enough. So here is Mevis, her final SCL game of her storied career. And once again, she's caused all sorts of issues for the Dragons trying to find somewhere to go and place balls down at center field. It's been the no-fly zone out there. Mevis tried a bunt, fouled it off as a rather unique, often swinging play. She could try almost running out of the batter's box as she is swinging. She's really cut down on it. Tried using it a lot last year. She tops this one sky high up in the air. Center fielder for the Dragons will make the catch. There's 2 down. Runners for the Trojans can't go anywhere. Kayla Beals, the junior outfielder, with the catch. I do want to make the apology now that not going to be making it to the Varsity Baseball's SCL Tournament Championship game against Annalee in time. It's about a 50-minute drive over to Sonoma, and it's already starting in about 25 minutes, so we're missing most of that. But the Trojans baseball team has swept Annalee this year. First game a little bit closer, beat them 5-1, and then Gavin Ochoa came up here, the freshman pitcher, and completely shut down Annalee. Gave up only 1 hit, and he got help with the Trojan bats. They mercy ruled them in 6 innings, 10-0. So they have dominated over Annalee. This one hit up the middle. It's mishandled at center, and here comes the runner to the plate. It's Pate safe at center. It's a double for Kaylee Wyand. There's an insurance run that would help make the Trojans feel a little bit more comfortable. Wyand knocked it up the middle, and as soon as it was bobbled by the center fielder trying to rush it was Beals. Pate easily able to score on smart base running by Smith and Wyand to take the extra base as well. Here's Girardelli trying to do some more damage. It looked like she was going to foul it off, but it just sort of stayed there, and then it's dropped by Gutierrez. The throw back home is not in time. Girardelli is jogging over to second. That's about the shortest possible ball you could ever hit that could turn into a double, but Girardelli has just done that. It just fell right to the catcher, and looked like it should have been a routine play, but Hernandez unable to make the catch. Smith scores, Wyand goes to third, and Girardelli on the throw home goes to second. So it's now 7-1. His Trojans have added 2 here in this one. Misses outside to the other Wyand sister, Emma. Ground ball to second. Oh, that's off the shoulder. That's gotta hurt. A run will score. It's 8-1. And considering the tough hop there, that's got to be ruled an infield base hit for Wyand. I don't know if that hit a rock or what, but right as he got to the Dragons' second baseman, It took a flying hop. It nipped her off the shoulder, Annie Neals, and there was not much she could do with that one. And the Trojans have found ways to get more runs finally across the board. Besides that grand slam by Bless, they've been pretty limited, stranded a lot of runners on base, but they've broken through once again here. Kennedy Migley will have a conversation with manager Keely Ray again. But Dragons now down 7, and it's going to be a tough road back for them in the top of this one if they want to complete the comeback. And they've been close to putting more runs on the board, but it's been Trojan defense that has really been the key, and O'Keefe's kept them off balance all evening long. It's going to be a tough out for any team in NCS if O'Keefe can keep up this pitching, keep her control down. She can really just dominate teams with her movement. The Trojans' fielding isn't going to make mistakes, and the hitting seems to always come alive, put up some runs in some games. You really look up and down the Trojans' schedule. It's hard to find too many games where they didn't score a lot. I would point in pretty much only 2 games you could look at as the first pitch is in there to a strike to Mia Pariani, pinch hitting here. They only scored 1 run both against Napa and East Nicholas in the Napa tournament. 2 strong teams. This gets by the catcher. Girardelli will score all the way over to third. She is safe. Is Wyatt. What base running by Emma Wyatt. The pass ball, you don't expect a player to get 2 bases, but Emma Wyatt with great speed hustles around to get an extra base. It's 9-1, and things have fallen apart here for the Dragons. Ground ball, just foul. Wyan having to get out of the way of that one. Inconsistency was definitely more of a problem early in the season. Had the loss to Annalee. It was a little bit surprising. Had a loss to Montgomery. Almost lost to Casa Grande. Almost blew a lead. Wyan hit a walk-off home run. This one's grounded right back to the pitcher. And this inning just can't seem to end. Oh, my goodness. Hernandez dropped it, and Pariani thought she was certainly out. She didn't even realize and started turning back to the dugout, but the Dragons didn't realize in time. Hernandez has dropped 2. It's an error there. Another run scores. It's 10-1. If Pariani can score, then it will mean that O'Keefe will not have to head out for the 7th, and it will be a mercy rule. An explosion here. 5 more runs. And a hoist of errors, I couldn't count them, by the Dragons as they were holding us in this one, but seen it do it to many teams. The Trojans pressure and pressure can just get a team to crack. Ground ball to second, and it's probably in Hernandez's head, but she finally makes the catch, and there's 2 down. Pariani advances to second, and back to Bless. One final time for her to do something. She's going to have a conversation. A triple, a home run for the freshman phenom. She's going to be around a while, and she's going to be creating a force. I think many colleges would want her right now and hand over the scholarship. If she can continue to develop and work hard, and she seems so motivated, she could be doing this for a career, for a living. 1 more run. And they've intentionally walked her. Well, the ultimate compliment. Bless doesn't like it at all. She wanted to get more chance. She's hit long fly balls, but the Dragons want to get 1 more shot at this, and it's not in their best interest to pitch to Bless. Try to go to O'Keefe. The Trojans have batted around here. O'Keefe was the leadoff batter in this setting. Trojans have worked it all the way around. Bless essentially doesn't matter as a base runner. Pariani's the winning run. That one misses low, 2-0. Migley struggling to find the strike zone. Hey, 3-0. And it is just so hard. Trojan batters out if you can't pitch strikes. Just that simple. That misses high. Walked anyways. O'Keefe is walked. Smith is up. and a chance to finish this one off the right way. Pate's going to pinch it for the second time in the inning. O'Keefe doesn't run the bases. See if the junior can finish it off. Anything will do. A walk, base hit. Trojans mercy ruled Sonoma first time they played 11-1. Could have the exact same score again here. First pitch in there for a strike. Trojans will go to 20-5, their 20th win on the year. This one is hit down the line. Fair ball. That's the ball game. The Trojans are going to win the SCL tournament. Oh, it's foul. Just kidding. I was unsure. Thought that one was fair. It was close. Smith wasn't sure either, but they ruled it foul. Inches away there from closing it out. Instead, it's 0-2. Try again. And off the helmet. That's an odd way to end it, but that is the way to end it. The Petaluma Trojans are the SCL Tournament Champions. They take the league pennant. They took the league trophy last year. Now they go back-to-back here. They were dominant in the Sonoma County League, especially the second half of the year. And they roll over the Dragons. A tight game for most of it, but they were too much, especially in the second part of this game. Bless hit the grand slam. They overwhelmed them as things fell apart here in the sixth. They get the statement mercy rule. That will give a statement to the NCS committee as they look forward. But the Trojans too much for the Dragons. They played sound baseball today, and they get the 11-1 victory to take home the SCL tournament title. Final score here, 11-1 in 6 innings. Interviews coming up next with a very happy Trojan squad. We're going to have the trophy ceremony here toward the SCL tournament champions, the Petaluma Trojans, as they're coronating the final SCL softball game that will ever be played. Let's listen in.
Again, as it should be, the two schools that we're playing tonight were part of that league 40 years ago. So let's give them both a big hand. And I would like to now present the award for the tournament champion softball night 2018 to the Petaluma High Trojans.
Do you want me to video it? I just took pictures.
Congratulations.
We'll go bring it over
Good
here.
luck to the NCS. Good luck next week to the NCS. Thank you.
That is the brief but sweet trophy ceremony. The final time here, and they will hoist a title. We're going to go in and get a picture, and then interviews next.
We are here with Rachel Bless after the Trojans win the SCL tournament. And Rachel, you hit the key grand slam today. It was a no-doubter, too. Take us through that at bat.
I was just 3-0, and I knew she was going to come with me with one right down the middle. So actually, coach on third base told me to take it, but I knew it was coming right down the middle, so I was expecting it, and I just drove it.
You're now batting leadoff. You had a triple today, and you were even intentionally walked. How much? As only a freshman, how amazing is this to see all the respect you've been shown by your coach, your team, and the league?
It's really amazing, actually. These girls have welcomed me in, and it's been really great, and it's such a good team, and I'm going to miss all these seniors. So.
You guys win the SCL regular season and now cruise your way to the SCL Tournament Championship. What does this mean to the team?
It means everything to the team. I mean, we worked so hard this season, and it's really paid off.
What has been the key? This team feels so tight together, and they just seem so confident out on the diamond.
Yeah, we really work hard together as a team, and I think our chemistry really helps us, and it's really a key to how we play.
All right, we are here with Mandy O'Keefe after the Trojans win the SCL tournament title. And Mandy, you had another dominant outing from the circle today. 6 innings, only 1 run allowed against a good Dragons team. How are you once again able to bring it?
I mean, my teammates are always here cheering me on, and they say, like, after anything, every inning, like, you just pitch and we got the defense behind you, and that really helps.
You were facing off against a good sophomore for the Dragons, and she felt like at times she cracked a little bit, had some walks. How were you able to hold your poise in those big moments? You're able to work out of trouble a couple times.
Well, I mean, we made our innings quick. Like, my teammates were always there, like, behind me to get the outs, and we're a good hitting team, so they do have to throw a lot more pitches. But it definitely helps with the defense always cheering us on.
Yeah, fielding today, 3 catches up against the wall by the outfield. How much confidence does that help you pitching-wise that you know that your defense really, especially now playing really good softball?
I mean, that helps a lot. Chandler's, like, dove over the fence, so when it goes back there, I feel confident that they're not afraid to, like, run into the fence and they can get the out.
Well, that's going to do it here from the Annalee High School Softball Diamond in Sebastopol. The Trojans take the SCL Tournament title, already regular season champions, and a team that is absolutely delighted. And it tells you the future's pretty bright, too, because we just interviewed the 2 stars of the game, 2 underclassmen. Freshman Rachel Bless has been remarkable, and Mandy O'Keefe dominant once again pitching as she really shut down the Dragons, worked out of trouble a couple times, held her poise, really pitched well. And the Trojan offense, it wasn't electric at times, but they found ways to break through. Rachel Bless, the grand slam was key, and then the Trojans broke it open in the 6th inning as Sonoma sort of fell apart, and just so much pressure the Trojans kept on putting on the Dragons. It really felt like they were going to crack at some point. And something happened to a lot of teams this year. Trojans have continued pressure, continued hitting, and even if teams have gotten out of it, often they crack. It's just too much under Trojan at-bats that there's no place to hide up and down the lineup, whether it's Beavis, Jared Ellie, or Smith. It is a talented group of Petaluma softball players this 2018 year. They hoist the tournament trophy already with the banner. First time they've done this since 2013. It means a lot for this team, for this program. They continue to build it. And certainly something to never forget. NCS coming up, the way this team is playing confident. Mandy O'Keefe believes, and has to be the whole team believes, that this team can go as far as they want. This is a team that clean fielding, hitting, it just seems to always come through in the right moments. And right now, pitching is certainly not a weakness with the way Bless and O'Keefe have been pitching. That's going to do it for here. We'll continue to have coverage of the softball team as they go through NCS. Should be fun to see if they can pull up their first NCS victory in 4 years as they continue to make history. That's going to do it. I'm Griffin Epstein. So long.